All right. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well and hope you guys are excited to know what is the most easiest and not only the easiest, but also the most satisfying way of making money. Now, again, I am extremely against those things which people tell how to get rich quick by multi-level marketing, by doing this and doing that, telling people that there's a free webinar, you can just attend it, and then by the end of the webinar, they tell you to go and purchase something which they're selling, either a book or a program or a list of emails or anything. That's all. I believe that's all playing with people's emotion, because people join the webinars or these kind of events hoping that they would get something out of it, and by the end of it, when you say that whatever I told you was just a trailer, but if you want to see the whole movie, go purchase this for $1,000 or $500 or $300. What they don't realize, or what they, I would say, ignore, is that the reason why people are attending these things, because they are in need. They're in need of money, they're in need of learning something new, they're in need of improving their life, and they are basically the people who are doing these seminars or webinars. They're just playing with people's emotions, or playing with their need, that they're desperate at this point, and for that they would do anything. I think that's the wrong way of doing things. I think what you should do is just give your information in the most honest manner, help them actually achieve something, and then you say, I have other programs. If you want to buy something, you don't continue on the same program saying that, oh, by the way, this is the half of the information. In order to get the full information, you have to buy. And then people invest their time. I mean, either if it's a 30 minutes webinar, or an hour-long webinar, or 2-hour-long webinar, or whatever that time is extremely valuable. It doesn't matter if it's of the most richest person or the most poor person on the planet. The time value is equal for every person, every living being on this planet. So yeah, so I'm really not in favor of people who give you a little bit of free information and then ask you, if you want the whole information, go and purchase this. So in this program, I mean, this webinar is absolutely not that. I am going to teach you step by step the whole process of how you can make money, and along with making money, you can also enjoy what you're doing. Because when you enjoy your work, you're satisfied. You're never questioning yourself if you're spending your time in the right manner or not, or if you're wasting your time doing something which you don't like, which you don't love. Because if you don't like something, you'll always question yourself, and you'll always be dissatisfied. Now, coming back to our webinar, let me ask you this: how many forms of business can you guys ever took a course in your school or in your college, or and they taught you that there are 3 forms, 4 forms, 5 forms, 10 forms of business? I just want to understand that how many forms of business can you guys actually count? But to me, if I look at a general perspective, to me, I would say that there are 3 main forms of business. And the first form is, I would say, it's manufacturing business. The second form is trading business. And the third is services business. Now, what is manufacturing business? See, a company or an organization which buy raw material and then convert them into a finished good product. So let's say, for example, if you bought pieces of wood, right, raw wood from pure tree wood, you get that in your warehouse, and then you cut it, you transform it into a form of a furniture. Let's say you're making a chair or a table, and then you polish it, you put the seats on it, you put whatever you want it to do in terms of making it look more beautiful, paint it or polish it, or whatever you want to do with the chair or with the headboard or any of those things which people make from wood. So you got a raw material and then you converted that into a finished product. The next type of business is trading business. And trading business means that you buy a finished product and then you sell it to consumers. So a person, so this level one was that you got the wood, you convert that wood or shaped that wood in form of a chair, and then there's another company who came into the picture and they said, I'll buy that chair from you, I'll put that in my showroom or my shop, and I'll sell it to consumers. So that's trading business. These people are not working with the finished good, not with the raw material. They're only working with the finished products, and they're selling it to other people. And this can be anything: furniture, tires, electronic products, washing, dishwashers, computers, dryers, anything and everything you can think of as a finished product you see out there is sold by the traders. And in reality, if you think that anything which you have in your house is sold by a trader or a trading business. Now, the third form of the business was the servicing business. Now, for example, the chair you bought was an extremely expensive chair, or the whole dining furniture you bought was extremely expensive. There's a company who said, well, you bought this furniture, but this furniture, if you don't keep it polished all the time, it will start decaying, or the wood will start losing the charm of it or the look of it, or the seats which you got, after every year those seats needs to be replaced because the foam in there needs to be refilled so that it stays more cushiony. Now, this is a company who tells you that if you want to maintain your products, we'll give you the services for that. Whenever you want, you can just give us a call. We'll come, we'll pick the furniture, we'll take it to our warehouse, we'll polish it, we'll fix it, the seatings and everything, the paint and everything which you can, the buffing and the polishing, everything for related to that furniture. They can do it, and then we'll deliver it back to your home. Or we can also send our people to your home. If you would like, they can come in and reservice your furniture, and you can pay us online. So that's the servicing company. Now, for example, there's a company who manufacture cars. Let's say BMW. BMW is manufacturing cars. They're transforming or they're producing a product from nothing to a finished product. So they bought the aluminum body, they bought the chassis, they bought the tires, they got the windshield, they got the seats, all of those things, they put them together, and then you got a finished BMW. They send that BMW to a seller, a trading business. The BMW showrooms put them on their put them on display. People come and buy that BMW. Now, also BMW says that we also have a servicing business where you can come and you can get the car serviced after every 10,000 miles. We'll do the oil change, tire rotation, fluid check, all whatever you have to do in your service. So that'll be a perfect example of all the way from manufacturing to servicing business. So they themselves manufacture, they sell them through their trading business, and then they service them, or they provide services through their servicing business. So that'll be sort of a perfect example from all the way from manufacturing to servicing. Some examples, if I may give you, for manufacturing business. So manufacturing business, there are people in consumer electronics, computer hardware, cosmetics, garment business, which is clothing business. They get raw material, stitch it, make it in form of a t-shirt or a pant or a jacket or a suit or a tie or anything. Then some examples of the trading business is the hypermarkets, the Walmarts of the world. And then their car distribution, as I was talking about, the BMWs and the Mercedes and the Nissans and the Toyotas of the world. Then there are books and stationery trading businesses. Then there are office equipments like Office Depot, Office Max, and then a lot of other businesses. For furniture, we can give an example of Rooms to Go. And then for servicing, some of the examples of the servicing businesses are the banking business, the insurance business, the excuse me, the hospitality business, the educational centers. All of these are services business. They're giving you some kind of service, and they're charging you for those services. But I think there is one more kind of business, and I would say that a lot of people know them, but they don't actually realize that those business exist. And the fact is that this is the one business who helps people make a lot of money. And I'm not talking about the bigger corporations like the big FMCGs or the big manufacturing companies or the servicing companies or the trading companies. I'm talking about general people like you and me. They help us make a lot of business. What is it called? That business is called the middleman's business. Now, what is this middleman's business? I mean, it's a unique name, middleman. But what is this middleman's business? See, the business which sits or which happens between the trading and the servicing. So I'll give you an example. But before that, I want you to look at this picture and understand where exactly this business happens. This business happens between the trading side and the servicing side of the overall picture of the business, or the end-to-end picture of the business, from manufacturing to trading to service. So this business sits in middle of the trading and services business. And that's why I call it middleman's business. But the problem is that the middleman should have a long-term goal. It's not that if you start the middleman's business, you should do it all throughout your life. I mean, you can. It's not that you cannot. You can do that business throughout your life. But for me, I would suggest you to get a quick start being a middleman, being into a middleman's business. But in the long run, your ultimate vision should be either to get into the trading business or into the servicing business. That should be your long-term goal, and that's how you can make a lot of money. Because middleman's business is, again, it's a smaller business. This is the business which will give you a quick start. It will give you a kickstart. It will give you a boost start to increase or improve your finances or increase your wealth. But if you keep on doing, but again, I'm not saying that you cannot. Maybe someone wants to do multiple middleman businesses. You start one and then you grow it to 10, 15, 20 different middleman businesses. And that's your vision, and that's completely okay. But if I were you, I would start with one middleman business and I would try to grow it to either a trading business or a servicing business. And I'll tell you how you can do that so that you get a better and more clear picture. But before we move forward, again, as I said in the beginning of this presentation, that if you want to get or if you're hoping to get a get-rich-quick scheme from this webinar, the next slides are not for you, or the next portion or the next part of the presentation is not for you. If you want, you guys can drop. If you have a mindset where you can come and say, or where you were hoping that you will start making money from tomorrow, and nobody can. Even people who tell you that you can make $5,000 or $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 a day or a month by just spending 15, 20, 30 minutes or 2 hours or 3 hours of your day, I don't think that's anything in this world can make that happen. Because see, success or or any kind of achievement is directly related to your hard work. And if you want to do hard work, you actually need to have a mechanism for that. Nobody get rich overnight, nobody at all. I was listening to Jack Ma, the CEO and the founding partner of Alibaba, the biggest giant in when it comes to e-commerce. I think it's bigger than, in some forms it's bigger than Amazon too. He said that we started off with, I believe, 12 or 15 partners, and it took them so many years just to understand what their business model was. They themselves were not clear what they wanted to do because they were trying so many different things. But today he is one of the richest people on this planet. So nobody on this planet got rich with a quick scheme. Nobody on this planet. Name one person whom you admire or whom you think is successful, either on a personal level or a global level or any level. None of the people in this planet got successful hoping that they would get rich with a quick scheme. I remember I was listening to Gary Vee, amazing person. He was telling a story that when he launched his first YouTube channel, it was Wine Library TV. He had no or close to none visitors or attraction from people for the first 18 months. I mean, just imagine the amount of dedication this person had towards his work. For the first 18 months, I think he did 2 videos every single day or 2 reviews of wines every day for the next 18 months, and he had no attraction. So if you're hoping that you would get rich by the end of this week, this is not for you. The next part of the presentation is not for you. I will tell you a step-by-step process, exactly what you need to do, and you will make a lot of money doing that. I guarantee that you will make a lot of money doing that, and not only make a lot of money, you will be satisfied making that money. You will be happy making that money. You will not question yourself if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm making the right choices, if I'm investing my time in the right work or in the right place. I'll give you a simple, I'll share a story with you. I used to work with a company as a technology recruiter. I used to hire people, get them placed on the projects. And majority of them were technology and more like in high-end people, the ERP people, the SAPs and the Oracles and the PeopleSofts of the world. And I used to make a lot of money because the commissions were really, really good. The people whom we placed used to have the average rate of those requirements were $120, $125. I have seen people getting paid as high as $250 an hour. So I used to make a lot of money doing that, and I was getting promotions every year. I used to get promotion, and the reason I was getting promotion because I was actually good at that work, but I was never satisfied with what I was doing. I was never happy going to work, excited going to work. Oh yeah, I'll be doing recruiting, or I love doing recruiting. I was never ever happy with what I was doing, even though I was making a lot of money. But a day came when I decided that I cannot be a recruiter anymore. I gave up a lot of that money to actually start working towards what I loved doing. And I used to see a lot of people who were managing projects. I mean, project managers of the world. I really admired those people. I mean, people whom I was hiring and placing projects. I was impressed by those people with what they used to do, and I wanted to learn what they were doing or how they were doing or how to get into that industry. So I started taking online courses, free online courses. I don't remember I paid anything for the first few videos I saw, just to build my initial understanding, just to even see if that's something which I should be doing, or if I should be getting into that. So I started off with watching free videos on YouTube. What is project management? What do people do in that? How you become a project manager or a good project manager? How do you manage projects? And then I got to know that it's project manager is not only one role. It's multiple things. When you are a project manager, you're not only one person. You actually have to do so much. But every single thing I was getting into, like, you have to manage the timelines, you have to manage the resources, you have to manage the budgets, you have to manage the costing and the steering committees and the sponsors and all of those things. And I was getting more and more excited the more I was learning. And I realized that that's something which I would love to do. And I gave it a try. I started taking smaller projects in the same company I was working. I started off with some of the technology projects, or the digital projects, I would say, but really small level projects. And when I started working from there, I actually enjoyed doing what I was doing. And then from one project to another project, and from another project to another project. And when the company saw that I was actually doing well in that, they started giving me more projects. So I was managing multiple projects at a given time. And this is a pretty long story, but I'll come back to probably in some other video or session. I'll share the whole story with you. I mean, it's interesting because I learned so much from what I did in life, and it brought me to where I am today. And I thank every single day that I went through all of those hardships. I thank for those hardships which I went through, because it made me a better and more stronger person. I've seen all sorts of time in my life where I was actually struggling for money just to even get food, to a point where I was driving the most luxurious cars anybody could afford, and people looking at me and thinking, how the hell did he do this? So yeah, coming back to this, this is no get rich quick act. So if you're hoping to get something, or if you're hoping to make $10,000 by tomorrow, that's not going to happen. But I guarantee you will love what you will do, and you will make a lot of money. So continuing, I'll share the roadmap with you for how are you going to start making money, and then you can continue to grow what you were doing. So the first thing is, I want you, and the most important, actually, the first thing is the most important, is I want you to find your passion. What is it that you are passionate about? Maybe you're passionate about modifying cars. Maybe you like just putting stickers or decals or vinyls, or bigger tires, or more better leather seats in the car. I mean, just whatever comes in modifying a car and making people love their cars more, or painting a car by those new things, the wet paint and all that. Sorry, not the wet paint, but the plastic paint and all those plastic dips. So anything which you have to do with cars, if that's your passion, or maybe makeup or makeovers is your passion. You love doing makeups, you love buying makeup from different places, you love applying those makeup products or cosmetic products on your own. Or maybe your passion is clothing. You just love clothing. You just love trying to make your own styles of clothing. You love buying new clothes and mixing and matching it with different styles and colors. Maybe that's your passion. Maybe your passion is electronic goods. Maybe you like buying more and more electronic products. There was a friend of mine. I was literally, he had so much of junk. Well, I would say junk, that was treasure for him. He had all sorts of headphones and earphones and touchscreen tablets and mobile phones and laptops. I mean, he was just crazy about the electronic goods. He used to just buy them, try them, and then just keep them. So well, to me it was a waste of money, but to him it was his passion. He was in love with what he was doing. Or maybe your passion is reading books. You love all you if somebody asks you what would make you the most happiest person, your answer would be to leave me in a library where you can read books all day long. So maybe your passion is that, or maybe your passion is decorating houses. I mean, you're one of the person who's never satisfied with what you have in your house, or after every few days you want to remodel your house. Maybe you're one of those wives who keep on telling your husband to let's change the curtains or the carpet or the cushions or the couch or the TV table or anything. You just love remodeling your house, and I mean, these are some of the examples of what your passion could be, but maybe these are one of these is your passion, or maybe not one of these, but something else is your passion. But whatever it is, understand it and find it first. Tell yourself that this is what my passion is. This is something which I love doing all day long. Then I want you to register a company, and registering a company is not a big thing. I mean, you can hire any simple CPA. If you want, I can give you my CPA's number, and I think he charges $250 to register a company. And the reason why I'm asking you to register a company, because I'm telling you to become a businessman or a businesswoman. And you cannot do a business. I mean, you can start doing with your personal account, but again, I don't want you to give you, or I don't want to put you on a route where you would have problems in the long run. So I would rather tell you something with which you can be on a path where you just continue to get more and more and more and more success. So I know this will be a bit of a money in the beginning, that you have to register a firm or register a company. But again, this is for your own good. You would at least know how to be a businessman or a businesswoman, entrepreneur. And there's, I think, one of the happiest feeling you get when you tell others that I am a business owner. And that could be your investment. I know you will get return on your investment. That's 100% guaranteed. If you work on your passion and if you follow the roadmap, you will get your investment back. And not only investment, you'll make a lot more money. So the first thing is to register a company, or if you already have a company registered, just use that one. The third thing, or the third step, is to create an e-commerce website. Now, this is something which the people who are intelligent, they're making hell lot of money with this idea. And when I say, if you remember that the middleman business, this is the middleman business. If you imagine what are e-commerce companies, so let's say we talk about Amazon. Amazon or any of the other e-commerce companies, majority of the e-commerce companies, they're not buying directly from the manufacturer. They are buying products from the consumer. So, I'm sorry, not the consumer. Let me go back on the slide. They are basically buying from the trader. The majority of the e-commerce companies, they're not buying from the manufacturer, they're buying from the traders. Traders come to e-commerce companies and they advertise their products on the e-commerce platform. And then there are service providers or the consumers who come and get those products. So basically it's the business which sits right here, where the traders come to you, consumer come to you, and the service people come to you. This is the central part where actual business is happening. Now, going back to my other slide, so create an e-commerce website. Now, whatever your passion is, let's say your passion was that you like clothing products. Let's say you like clothes and clothes. Create an e-commerce website for clothes. What does that mean? It means that, and let me tell you, for those of you who don't know what e-commerce website is, an e-commerce website is where people can go and purchase products, like Amazon, like eBay, like Alibaba, or any of the other hundreds and thousands of e-commerce websites which are out there. So if you like something, you go there, you purchase that, and it is delivered and shipped to your home. So create an e-commerce website of your passion. That's the key. Don't make an e-commerce website where you sell everything and anything and everything. The key is to make an e-commerce website of your passion. And if you don't know how to make an e-commerce website, it is so easy, and I think free of cost. It is actually free of cost. And I have another session, I have another training in which I have shared the step-by-step process to create an e-commerce website. It will literally take you not more than 40 minutes to create your own e-commerce website, all the way from branding to the payment gateway and payment procedure. And in the middle, you can do all this stuff from defining the feature set and what will be the look of the website and what kind of functionalities you should have, if it should have a mobile version or not, or how would people be able to contact you, or how they will be able to put the products in the shopping cart. So all of those things will come in the middle. So those, I have a training. If you guys want that training, let me know. I'll share that with you. Of course, free of charge, nothing to charge you guys for that, because that's part of this process, that's part of this roadmap. So create an e-commerce website of your passion. So if your passion is clothing, create an e-commerce website of your clothing. And right now your focus is not to think how you would put clothes on the website. You, at this point, at this step, at this level of your roadmap, or at this milestone, your goal is to create an e-commerce website. Don't worry how you will fill that website with the products. Once you have created that e-commerce website, once you have created the platform where people can come and actually purchase products, the next step which you need to do is approach companies and get agreements. So for example, I'm just giving you an example. The next step which you need to do is to start contacting companies or individuals, people who have smaller brands. And I don't know any small brand at this point, but I'll give you an example of a bigger brand, which is Tommy Hilfiger. Let's say you go to Tommy Hilfiger and you say, I will sell your products on my website, and every sale I make, you give me 10% of that sale, or 5% of that sale, or whatever that model is. Because usually bigger companies have their such models that if you're reselling their products, they'll give you a certain percentage of that, because the volume of their products are more as compared to a smaller brand. So approach companies, start making a list of companies whom you think are in the clothing business, or whom you yourself love the brand. So if you love Zara's, or if you love Tommy Hilfiger, or if you love Calvin Klein, if you love Levi's, start approaching these companies, start hustling. This is where your hustle starts. Believe me, the more hustle you do on this level or this milestone of your roadmap or your path to success, the more you will see success in your life. And believe me, the first few companies you sign the agreement with, the rest will follow you automatically. It's all about the first few. Just get the first few in line, get their products published on your website, take the pictures from their own website, or you can do the photo shoot. You can ask them to send you guys a sample, and they will send you samples. You can do your own photo shoot, put the pictures there, put the pricing, and whatever you sell, you will get a certain percentage of that. And you can even ask for them to give you discounts, retailers discount, or whatever discount, family and friends discount. People have so many discounts out there. So a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, which people can buy from a Tommy Hilfiger store for, let's say, $40, you're selling the same shirt for $35 or $30. And not only doing that, but also making a hell lot of money selling that product through commissions. So the hustle is actually approaching the companies and getting the contracts in place. Get the contracts from those companies and start with smaller brands. Whatever you think, if you're in cosmetic business, there's so many smaller brands, companies who are desperately trying to get the word out that these products are so cool, they're amazing, people should try it once. You go to those companies and tell them that whatever sale I make off your product, or selling your product, not off your product, but selling your product, you give me X amount of commission. And smaller companies have bigger commissions, sales commissions. So if you remember, I watched this movie, Wolf of Wall Street. I'm pretty sure most of you have watched it, and if you haven't, do watch it. Amazing life lessons you get through that movie. So what the guy did was he was working in a trading company, and he was getting, I think, 5% or 10%, or really not even 10%, some really low percentage of selling a share. So if he was selling 100 shares of a company, and if his commission was 2%, he was getting $2 selling 100 shares. But when the market crashed and he lost his job, he went to a smaller company. It was called penny stocks, and penny stocks were smaller companies, smaller people, smaller smaller organizations, individuals who just recently started their company, but they want capital. So they put their companies out and ask for people to buy their shares, and so that they get capital to run the company. Now, these penny stocks, the commission for these penny stocks was 50%, because those were smaller companies. Now, when he started selling those penny stocks, he was making a lot more money, because it was easy for people to buy because they were cheap, and he was making a lot more money. He was getting a lot more commission selling those penny stocks. So similarly, if you go to smaller brands, they will have better commission structure as compared to the bigger brands. Now, the next thing which you need to do is advertise their products. When I was doing my MBA, one of my teachers, he gave me an example. He said, he asked a question to the class. He said, do you think that any person on this planet doesn't know what Coca-Cola is or what Coca-Cola company does? We all said, well, it's really hard to say, because almost every single person, either big or old, or old or young, knows what Coca-Cola is, because you see that everywhere on TV, in the market, everywhere. He said, but if everybody knows about Coca-Cola, why do they still have millions of dollars of marketing budget? Why do they spend that much of money, even when the whole world almost knows what Coca-Cola is? Or what do they do? And nobody gave an answer. He said, the reason why they do it, because the day they stopped marketing, that's the day when people will stop forgetting Coca-Cola. And there'll be a time when people will actually, and that's why they spend so much of money on their advertising and marketing, that people don't forget what the company is or what they do, because marketing is the king. You cannot do anything without marketing unless you have a good marketing budget, unless you keep telling people unless you keep telling people what you do and what your product does, or what does your company do. They will never know what happens in the world. I remember the same teacher gave us another example, that if there is a needle, even a needle being manufactured in the world, unless nobody tells you that it is being manufactured, no one will know that it was manufactured. So all the way from manufacturing a needle to all the way manufacturing a huge giant plane, if somebody doesn't tell you that it is being manufactured or it has been produced, no one will ever know that it exists in the world. So it's all about marketing and advertising the products. For that, of course, it's all your choice. You can market those products on social media, through Google ads, through word of mouth, through organic marketing. You can create a page of yours on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere, and you can just keep on marketing those products more and more and more. You can start giving reviews about those products, tell people how you felt using those products, and then see, you wouldn't mind doing all of that, because that's something which you love. That's what your passion is. You would never mind giving a review about clothing brand or a cosmetic product or a electronic good, if that is what your passion is. And the reason, if you look at the first step, I said the first most important to do is to identify what you are passionate about. And passion is something which people don't mind doing all day long, even if they're not getting paid for it. So if your passion is that, do that. Sorry, if your passion is that, don't. So if your passion is that, you will never think twice that if I'm making enough money, or if I'm investing enough time, or if I'm doing the right thing, if you are working towards it. So if whatever your passion is, you'll love marketing those things, telling people that how cool those products are, or how amazing the fit of that shirt was, or how comfortable that pant or jeans was. So those you'll be just marketing that, or those products all day long. Now, the other good thing about working towards your passion is that you will only market products which you yourself love, right? You will not, if you use a cosmetic product and it gave you it did a skin reaction on you, you won't tell people to buy it. Of course, you can give a review of that product, and you can tell the people the truth that this, I mean, at least to my skin, it didn't work. Maybe you guys can try. However, the look was pretty cool. The results were great, but I think some chemical or something reacted towards my skin. And of course, not every single person on the planet have the same kind of skin, but it didn't work on mine. So advertise the products as much as you can. And frankly, you don't have anything better to do. You might as well work towards what you believe in, work towards what you love doing. And then the more and more you sell those products, the more and more people come to your website and purchase those products, the more and more money you make off every sale. And then once you start growing, and I follow this amazing kid, Caleb, on Instagram. He said an amazing quote. I mean, he posted an amazing picture, and on the picture it said, every single Instagram account had 0 followers one day. Now, when we look at picture, we say, when we look at people or the social media accounts, so somebody has 1.2 million followers, someone has 500,000 followers, someone has 2 million views, or 5,000 shares, or 10,000 tweets or retweets, or whatever those things may be. We get fascinated by those things, and we just question ourselves, how can I get to that point? But believe me, those tweets, those Instagram posts, those Facebook shares had 0 likes, 0 shares one day. Right? Those Instagram accounts had 0 followers one day. So it's all about the more and more hustle you do. But the key is, if you hustle towards your passion, towards what you love, you don't even think that of as a hustle. You just love doing those things. You do those things in your general life, might as well make a lot of money off that. So, I mean, if your passion is electronic goods, if you love buying more and more electronic goods, you're eventually buying that. You're not making any money off that. So might as well start making money off by buying those products, or giving reviews to people. So or telling how the cool products are. So again, coming back to this presentation, every sale you make, every sale you do, you'll make commissions off that. Now, once you get to a point, and of course, I'm telling you, this is not going to happen overnight. It may take weeks, it may take months. It all depends upon your hustle on step number 4, step number 5, and step number 4 and step number 6. The more hustle you do on step number 4 and step number 6, the more you will start making money, and eventually you'll be enjoying what you were doing. But the added feature to that will be that you'll constantly continue to make more and more and more money. The last step of this is that once you think that you have enough followers and your business is self-sufficient, you can either multiply the same kind of work into, or sorry, not multiply, but copy the same model and start another business. But this time you'll have a success story, that you have already done this. You would know what kind of hardships you face. You would know how to talk to people. You would know how to get the agreements. You would know how to sell it to people, right? So this time you would be more prepared if you're starting another business in another industry, or for a different type of product, or for a different type of thing which you love doing. Or you can go, once you are grown to X amount of followers or X amount of sales, you can merge with another company. You can tell a bigger platform, Amazon or eBay or any of those bigger platforms, to you can work out a deal with them. They will come and buy you because you have legitimate followers, you have legitimate buyers, you're making sale off every single you're making money off every single sale you're doing. If I were you in that position, I would not. I mean, some friends of mine, this when they started the business, they chose that they would merge with someone because their mindset was that if you work with a bigger company, you get to learn more. But my mindset is that if you're working with a bigger company, you're just another person in the company, right? If you yourself are the company, you're the biggest person in that company, and eventually you have to hustle and work hard for the bigger company. If you put the same amount of hustle and hard work for your own company, your company will get even more bigger, right? So any person out there, you see Instagram, well, Facebook actually bought Instagram, but they still have their own identity. Uber, Twitter, Google, Amazon, Alibaba, any of those companies out there, they decided that they will do what they are passionate about. Because I remember and since I told you that my background was initially from recruiting, I was there. So what happened was Oracle Corporation actually acquire PeopleSoft. So PeopleSoft is an enterprise level application which large organization uses to manage their transaction, the backend transactions. Same as Oracle, but Oracle was a bigger company. They acquired PeopleSoft, but when they acquired PeopleSoft, they literally killed the business. They did, in order to remove the competition, they bought the competition, but they killed it. So there are always chances of, if a bigger brand is buying you, you wouldn't know if you will be just another person working for that company. So either get to a point where you get big enough that nobody can kill you, or just keep working towards your passion. Get more and more investors in your business, because again, if you're doing well, there will be people ready to invest more and more and more business money in your business. So I mean, if you would say that there are already companies like Amazon who are selling anything and everything out there, from furniture to makeup kits to makeup stuff to electronic goods to everything and anything and everything. How would I become successful? But do you think that if there's a Walmart who sell furnitures or consumer goods, the food items, the clothing items, but do you think Rooms to Go is not doing well in the business? Or do you think the what do you call it, the Pep Boys are not doing the good business? Or do you think the what is the food, what is it called, the Aldi's of the world are not doing good business? So Walmart is there, Amazon is there, but you are specialized in that field. People will come to you whenever they want to buy that product. And then again, that's your passion. Nobody can sell those products in a manner you can. So always remember that, never doubt yourself. If that's your passion, believe me, once you start working towards it, you will continue to keep growing and growing and growing, because that's something which you love doing. So never doubt yourself. Never question that there are other bigger giants and bigger companies and bigger organizations out there. So what? You will be competing with them one day. So just keep working towards what you believe and what your passion is. Again, as I said, your long-term results, depending upon your goal, you can either sell your business or partnership with a bigger company, or keep growing it and open more and more similar type of business. So for example, you started off with general cosmetics, but then you said that people are more drawn towards, I have more traffic for lipsticks and let's say eyeliners, right? So you can create a specialized portal for lipstick and specialized portal for eyeliners. So again, the possibilities for you will be endless. Just identify your passion and just keep working. If you follow this roadmap, if you follow this process, I know you will make a lot of money. But it all depends upon how dedicated you are. It depends upon how motivated you are. It depends upon how passionate you are towards what you love doing. Because I'm telling you, whatever your passion is something which keeps pulling people towards them. So don't, if you think that you don't spend enough time towards what you love doing, believe me, you do. And once you start working towards it, you'll start spending more and more time, and you'll be satisfied doing those things. The reason why I'm emphasizing too much on the passion is because the only way you can get successful, see, any person you look around, a person who's well known on a global level, talk about Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, late Steve Jobs, or Warren Buffett or Einstein or Jeff Bezos, any person out there became successful when they started working towards their passion, because that's something, passion is something, when you work towards it, you're really not bothered about how much time or how much energy you're spending towards it. You can make a lot of money in a month's time depending upon the amount of hustle you put in, the amount of dedication you have. Or you can choose to ignore all of this, what you learned today, and then go back to your routine life where you go to the job which you hate. Every single day you don't even want to get up to go to work. The reason why, because you don't love doing what you are doing. Or you can get excited every morning adding new features to your website, adding more new clients to your website, adding designing more marketing campaigns for your website, right? Either do that. So the choice, again, it's at the end of the day, the choice is yours. I'm just here to help you out, tell you how you can put your life on the right path to success. Because frankly, I was in the same situation. I've seen really tough times, and I wished somehow someone showed me the right path or showed me the right way of making money. But I always went online, and I don't know if you guys remember that there was a time when they used to sell Google AdSense. People were telling you that you can make $5,000 by just sitting at home, and all you need an internet connection and a laptop or a computer. And if you give us, let's say $300, we'll teach you the way how to do it, and you can make $5,000 off that. I paid that money. I went there. What they told me was, I don't know how many of you actually got victimized by that, but I went there, I got the training. They said, well, what you have to do is you have to create a website, and this is a long list of people whom you can add on your MSN Messenger or Yahoo Messenger. Just add them, and then you can send your website links to them. They will go and do a bunch of clicks, and a click on a few ads. Google will place ads on your website, and you do the same. You take their website link, click on a bunch of links here and there, and then click on the AdSense, the Google ads, and Google will pay you for that. Nonsense, waste of time, absolutely waste of time. People did make a few bucks off that, but again, that was not long-term goal. You were not achieving anything at the end. That was just I forgot the word which people usually use nowadays for those kind of things, but that was a pure scam. You spend money, and people who were actually teaching these things were making a lot of money, because they were the teachers. They were selling this idea to people, making $300 off every person. And people, when they spent $300, they hardly were even able to recover that money, because when they were working towards it, they found they lost the interest while they were working on it, because it was all nonsense. Then came the gold mine internationals of the world. Just make sure that you convince two people, one on your right hand, one on your left hand, then ask them to convince two more people on their right hand and left hand, and then And the gold mine international products were selling like crazy. The only person who was getting benefit out of it was the gold mine international company, and I'm sure there were others too. It was called a multi-level marketing. And the people who were convincing people were just stupid. They were hardly making any money convincing people, oh, go buy this gold mine international product, and this is so cool, and you can make so much money if you convince people under your right hand. Under all stupid scams. Now these days, what we listen and we hear, that people are sending you a free book or asking you to register to a free webinar and telling you, oh my God, you can make 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 by just sitting at home working 15-20 minutes a day. But in reality, when you go and actually do those things, the only person who's making money in this whole process is the person who's giving that free webinar, because towards the end of it, you pay them $300 or $500 or $1,000 or whatever they're charging you for that. So that's all scam. No person can become successful until they're working towards what they love doing. So if you're not working towards your passion, if you're not working towards what you love, believe me, your wealth will grow to only a limit. You will always have a limit to your growth. But if you're working towards what you love, there is no limit to your wealth. So always remember that. Post me any questions if you guys have. But before we end, this whole process will help you increase your wealth. But a lot of the people, if you look around, they are not satisfied with how they can become a complete end-to-end successful person. I mean, there are a lot of wealthy people, but they don't have the right formula to become an actual successful person. And the reason why they're not successful from all aspects is because there's some really important secrets which usually people don't share with others, or at least even if they share, they don't share in the manner. Because the story I was telling you, that I was literally frustrated following these motivational speakers, attending these free webinars or paid webinars. I even paid money to attend the webinars, going to different seminars, attending them. I was working day in, day out, just trying to become something, just trying to become a little bit successful, at least in the beginning, a little bit successful. Investing a lot of my time, a lot of my money, but nothing was actually working out. I was getting more and more frustrated. But while I was doing that, because during this process, I was listening to people, I was reading books, I was attending webinars, I was listening to motivational speakers, I realized that there are some really important things which people, all of these motivation speakers, the books, they have not shared these important secrets with people in the manner they should. So what I did one day, I was really upset. I took a pen and a paper and I started questioning myself. I said, why don't I become successful? I started writing things that this is something which I think there's lack, which people don't teach. This is something which people don't teach. This is something which people don't teach. And if somebody teaches these things, people will actually become successful. And when I looked at that paper, I was like, my God, these are the secrets. These themselves are the secrets which people don't know. And if somebody tells them what these are, they will actually go and start applying those things to their lives, and they will start becoming successful. So what I did was, it took me about 8 months, I think, 8 months from the day I took that notepad and started writing those things all the way till completing that program. So what I did was, I converted all my findings, all the teachings which I got into a program where I realized that if somebody knows these secrets, there is nothing to stop them from achieving any goal in their life. So if you want to become an end-to-end successful person, I want you to go and get this program. Again, this is not one of those schemes. I've already told you how to make money. It's not that I've only shared the half-baked cake with you, and now I'm telling you to pay me if you want the whole cake, if you want the full cooked cake. No, I've already told you how to make money, and that's the easiest and most satisfying way of making money. But if you want to become a end-to-end successful person and live the most satisfying life, and live a life like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, late Steve Jobs, of a life filled with success, filled with passion. If you want to live that life, register yourself for the program, the Secrets of Success program. And again, I'm not forcing you to do that. It's your choice. If you want to become successful, do it. If you don't want to become successful, only work towards what I've already told you. You all of you have that choice. But if you want to become successful, go register yourself. I've tried to keep the cost as low as possible, and believe me, the cost is only so that I can take care of the marketing side of it. So the advertisement cost, which I'm paying out of my pocket, the selling should only take care of that. Believe me, usually these programs cost at least $100. I'm selling it for $24.99, like $25. Your one-time meal, if you go out with a friend, and if you take somebody out, you or your wife or somebody, you spend $25 in a second. And believe me, if you get to know these secrets, this will change your life 100%. The way you look at success, I used to look at success the same way. But when I put this program together, my own way of looking at success changed 100%. I started looking at success from a completely different perspective. I started looking success from a perspective of Warren Buffett or Colonel Sanders or Jack Ma or Jeff Bezos or Sam Walton. That's how I started looking at success. The way those people looked at success. So if you want to become successful, it's literally, and this is no money for me. This is more like an investment for your own self. $25 is nothing, but you will learn valuable life lesson, believe me. So if you want, you can go to the link. It's MySam, it's my first name, last name, .com/SOS. Register yourself for that program, and believe me, it will not only change your perception or perspective or the way you look at success, it will make you a different person, and I can bet on that. If you, and there are exercises in that program. It's not only that I'm just telling you what to do, how to do it, or no, I'm not one of those free word motivational speaker. Oh, you should work hard. Oh, you should value time. Oh, you should take good care of your surroundings. I'm not one of those free word motivation speaker. I am the person who give you actions to do, so that when you do those actions, you will start seeing results in your life. One of my boss used to tell me, he said, you can never improve until you measure. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're eating healthy, you're dieting, you're taking less carbs, you're working out really hard, but until you measure after a week, how would you know that you lost how much of weight? You never took the weight you started off, and you don't know at what weight you are right now. By just looking at yourself, you assume that you've lost some weight. But until you measure, so when you start working out, first weigh yourself. Let's say you're 190 pounds and your goal is to get to 130 pounds. So until you measure, you wouldn't know what your progress is. So similarly, in this program, I haven't just thrown free words. I have actually given you exercises to perform so that you can start seeing your life move towards success. So contact me if you guys have any questions. You can just send an email to contact@mysamaga.com, and I'll be more than happy to reply to your questions, or whatever problems you have. I'll be more than happy to resolve those. Um, yeah, so I hope you found great value out of this, and you will, and I know you will found great value out of the success program, the Secrets of Success program. Go register yourself and let me know how you felt doing that, or completing that program. Take good care of yourselves, guys. Thank you so much. We'll do a quick question answer session. If you have any questions, you can pose that, and I'll reply back to those questions. And Yeah, that's about it. So take really good care of yourselves, guys. Always remember, the most satisfying way of making money is if you work towards your passion. There's nothing more or nothing less to that. Thank you so much.